Hey everybody! As you can see, I have a box, a really big box on my desk, and I have another cool thing that my pal Valarie has sent me, and I know she is ready for me to unbox this. So I'm gonna do an unboxing video and go through some of the things that she sent me, and hopefully come up with some ideas. You can tell this is huge, and has anybody ever gotten a blister using your your die cut machine? I did, and it's an ugly one. But anyway, I'm gonna unbox this, and hopefully I will be able to get all of it on the screen. But you can see I've marked out addresses and all that good stuff to keep addresses safe. And I'm probably not cutting this open in the safest way, but I'm going to do it as safely as I possibly can here. It's hard to maneuver big boxes. I'm going to tell you, this was a heavy box. It looks like she paid $20 to send this to me. So, Valarie, I'm going to be sending you some special things because that's crazy to ship a box. $20 to ship a box. And I ship a lot of things for my eBay store. So I don't think I've ever had to ship something for 20 bucks. All right. I know she had told me that she was having trouble fitting everything she wanted to send in this box. So I cannot even imagine what all is in here. Okay. Gosh. Can I get this on the screen? That is going to be the question. Okay, let's start here. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's wrapped up. We have some packs. She had told me she went to an estate sale. Oh, my goodness. And had found some things that she wanted to send me. And, oh, very cool. So, I know that in another video, I had mentioned that I was buying a lot of these chipboard shapes, and it looks like she sent me a bunch of these really cool chipboard shapes. I love these. They're fun to use for lots of different things, but I'm gonna have to play with these because I think they would be really cool on the outside of a journal. So thank you, that is awesome. And then looks like some more little shapes. Very cute, very cheerful. Okay, and then we have some little boxes. I believe these are for the giveaway. Yeah, so I have some kits that she has sent. Okay, and she's marked them, thank goodness. So she sent me a boho kit because she told me she'd made all these themed kits. And then we're gonna do a giveaway. Very cool. All right, very cool. All right, so I have 3 kits here that she has put together, and I'll talk about those in just a minute, but they are little kits with different themes, kind of like how I just did the kit with the sewing theme. And we're gonna do a giveaway. She was like, why don't you do a giveaway? And I was like, I don't collect things quite as much as you find them. And she very generously made some kits to do for the giveaway for my channel, which I think is super generous. But I have 3 kits, and I'm gonna do a giveaway whenever my channel reaches, I think, 1,000 subscribers. We are going to give away 3 kits, and I am going to try to send out more information about that here in the next little bit, but keep that keep aware of that because we will be giving that away, and it will be anybody who is a subscriber will get a chance to enter into that. Okay, and gosh, there's like so many things in here. I'm just going to empty the box first. Oh, very cool. I see some, it looks like texture plates here. Oh my goodness. And some fabric. Oh my goodness. Girl. so much stuff. I know Valarie is kind of addicted to thrifting and going to like estate sales and things like that. And I think that's why she's been so generous, because she probably has a lot like me. That she's like, okay, I've got to get rid of some of this stuff. But she sent so much stuff here. This is crazy. Okay. So I think the easiest way to do this, because this box is so bulky, I'm going to pull everything out. And I am going to show you on camera. Oh goodness, I just pulled the lid off of something. Let me just take the box. We may start there because I have an open box there. This is like so much stuff. I did not realize this box would be as big as it is. I know she had told me, I'm having a hard time getting everything into the box. I was like, girl, don't feel like you gotta send all this stuff. She's like, no, I'm gonna make it fit. Okay, box is empty. Now, where to start? Okay, so I guess I'll start with these little tins. Let me put some of this to the side here. Okay, so there's 3 of these little tins, and this has some little plastic letters. This is funny because I actually have a little felt board that you can change the message on, and these can go, I believe, on that because they have the little tabs on the back. So very cute. All right. It's like a little Christmas, like a little Christmas party. All right. Oh, wow. These look like buckles. This is really cool. So right off the bat, I'm thinking that these would be really cool to use as something to tie clothes, to hold the tie clothes for a journal. These are so cool. I would love to know where you found these, because these are actually not easily found in my area. But this is really cool because they all have the little notches in the middle here. And you can use them to kind of do a closure. Very cool. I love that. How fun. And I'm going to have to figure out how you got them all into that little box, because now it's not closing. Okay. And then we've got one more little metal tin here. One of the larger metal tins anyway. You would think with my nails, I am trying to grow my nails out. I think I've talked about this in another video. I finally did some gel polish on them. That's the only thing that will keep them firm enough, but they're still not firm enough to really work. Oh, and this looks like sea glass. I'm just gonna kind of get up close here. Very pretty. So some little baubles to use on journals, or on little sorry, I still have COVID brain. I'm trying to reach for the word. On the little decoration that you put on the outside off the edge. That's pretty. So some little decorations, little beads, and there's some teeny little beads in here too. But I love these like sea glass looking pieces. Those are really, really pretty. Those might be my fave. Very cool. Okay, and then we have these little metal tins. Also, you know, just where did you get the metal tins? Because these are good at holding these little trinkets and ephemera. Very cool. Okay, so it looks like we have more little pieces. A little clothespin. That's cute. Maybe a little mirror piece. So these would be like more little pieces of ephemera that you could put on a journal, or put in a, I've noticed a lot of people doing the shaky cards. This would be pretty like in a shaky card, I think, for the holidays. Very cool. And then this one has a clear top. And these look like little buckles, maybe for jewelry. But they would be kind of cool if you strung in the edges. You could string a really thin fabric or a cord maybe and use it as a closure. Or you could even make a piece of jewelry and use it on the journal itself. Very cool. And this looks like some sort of, it's kind of the same. It's got like that, gosh, I'm struggling for the word, but kind of like a keychain top closure. Very cool. These are so cute. And then little beads. Definitely gonna have to consolidate all these so I know what I have and what I don't have. And then some little pins and some, oop, there they go. Some little rivets. Very cool. Always can use those for sure, because I make a lot of tags here lately. I need to make more like in terms of journal, but I like the ephemera almost more than the journal. And then these look like white beads and sequins. Very pretty. Oh no, there goes some of them. I'll have to pick those up. And this little thing, oh, these are wax seals. There's my initial. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. A. Yeah, very cool. And those are metal tins there that came in. And then this looks like a metal buckle as well. It was just kind of loose in the box. But this would be interesting to like weight something. If you needed a, again, it could go on the top and just slide the fabric through to close it. Or it could be something that you use in a different way. If you have an idea for this, other than a closure, that would be cool. All right, and then we have some wooden plaques. I love using things like this to paint on, so I like this a lot. Any kind of substrate that I'm always looking for different substrates. And then it looks like she sent me some more material. This is a pretty lace. I love the pattern on this, the flowers. And I love how thin and wispy it is. That's beautiful. And then some, looks like some felt fabric. This would be cool on the outside of a journal, like as a base, and then maybe beading into it or something. That would be cool. And then another piece of this lace. She's got a lot of, looks like you find a lot, Valarie, of wedding lace and stuff. And there's literally none of that in my area. I don't know why that is, but this is beautiful. It has like open sections and the beading and the color is so pretty. I love that. Okay, let me put that back here. And then some more fabric here. This looks like torn fabric. So again, I could use these for closures. I love the variety and I love how silky they are. It looks like a lot of these may have been scarves. Very cool. I don't know if I want to untie it because I don't know if I can retie it, but I love that piece right there is immediately jumping out to me. Very cool. And it looks like she sent 2 of those. I love how she puts things together. She always packages things really neatly and figures out how to pair things together so that you can package them and send them off. But that one's jumping out. This looks kind of like a Indian type of sari fabric. I don't know if that's focusing on my hand or not, but I love that. And then again, these paisleys and florals, those are definitely, and just the colors. Look at how pretty that is. Like, I almost don't want to take it apart because it's so pretty. Very cool. Okay. And then she had said something about, I have a big shot that I found at a thrift store, our Goodwill. And this looks like impression plates. And I don't know if I've ever actually used these with, I definitely haven't with the big shot. I've used some impression plates in art, but I'm going to have to play with these because I actually don't really know a lot about how to use them. But I'm loving the textures. So there's the wild dashes. Thank you for this because these can be expensive, Valarie. Those are dashes as well. Some flowers. And then some spread out flowers. Those are pretty. Some diagonals. And polka daisies is what it says. That's cute. Kind of interesting. And then this looks like the plate that goes with it. So I'm going to have to maybe look at a YouTube video because I don't think I've ever used anything like this. It does have the instructions. So that's cool. I'll keep that out with my big shot here. So I can play with that after I finish this video. There we go. All right. And then this little bag, I hear like metal or something. So let's see. And I'm fully aware that I have my camera turned, now that I'm looking, I have my camera turned this way instead of this way for YouTube. So I'm sorry if this is a weird view. Oh my goodness, look how cute. They're like little thimbles. These are precious. So we have some little birds. I love this thimble. Wow. Ooh. There we go. It's like a little flower. And some metal ones. I'm trying to see if it will adjust here. There we go. Some different metal. This one's cute. It has a butterfly. These are so precious. Now, I want to know, did you get these at the, did you get all of these at the estate sale? Or have you collected these? And these are just so pretty. The little flowers. I need to find a little box that I can put these in. Those look almost like, there we go. Cute. I'm gonna wrap them up so I don't break them in the meantime though. I'll find a special place to put those. So cute. I love just little bits and bobs. Oh. They're still in the thing. And is this more? It is. Look how cute. Oh, these are beautiful. So I don't know if I've ever mentioned to Valarie or to anybody else, but I'm obsessed with cameos. And you can see, I think it's focusing dark because of the window. But cameo is like one of my favorite things. And she's got 2 of these little cameo thimbles in here. How beautiful are those? And then this is Our Father who art in heaven. And that's pretty. This little royal blue and golden. And this looks like cloisonne almost. That's beautiful. I don't know if you can see. I'm sorry about the lighting. This is heavy. It says Holy Land. Interesting, and it's very heavy for a thimble. This is solid, but it says Holy Land. That's so cool. And I love these birds. Flowers. And looks like more flowers. There's a pretty butterfly. So pretty. I love these. Thank you, Valarie. These are precious. I'm gonna have to come up with some sort of, this would be pretty in like a shadow box, where you could display them and show them off. Maybe this will encourage me to to finally learn how to sew. I did find a little sewing machine. I think I put that in one of my haul videos, but I haven't learned how to use it yet. So I'll put those together. Okay, and we have, she told me she had bought some of these for me, and I was so thankful because in another video, probably multiple other videos, I said I need a dauber for my fingers to use while I am doing some of the more delicate pieces of paper, like the edges with my distress ink. And she bought me a little set, and how cute are they? I think this is gonna really help me like speed up that process, because the big daubers just seem to be a little clumsy when I use them sometimes, especially for little pieces. So thank you so much for that, Valarie. That's going directly in my desk where I'm going to use it. And this looks like a hot glue, like avoid burning your finger, little finger protector. So thank you for that. And then we've got some pretty little sequins, and they look like they're made, some of them are regular sequins, but some of them look like they're made from actual paper. I don't know if maybe she's made some of these or if she just found them, but they're very small. I'm wondering if that will focus more. There we go. Pretty. And then a little mirror, 2 little mirrors. How pretty. I love that. And a little stand. This would be cute for my desk, just to have like a little, I could use it on the back of a piece of art, I guess. But, and look here, I told her I do love the Eiffel Tower. And she sent me a little Eiffel Tower. How cute is he? I'm gonna put him on my lamp here. And let's see, so we have some puzzle pieces, and this looks like an old puzzle. I'm gonna have to put that together and see what that shows, what picture that shows. But I like these. These are kind of aged and vintage. Very cool. And it looks like some die cuts, some leaves. Those are beautiful. I love these plastic containers too. Val, did you buy these or have you had them in your stash? These are really cool. They would be fun to use, like to send happy mail and stuff. And then some gloves, which I always need, because every time I use ink or paint, I inevitably stain my hands somehow. It always happens. So thank you for those. And then we have, ooh, it looks like more buckles. Let's see what we've got in here. Actually, it might be a good idea to move some of these. I'm gonna set those right here. Okay, and then I will put these right here. I can pull them up. Okay. And, interesting. So some more mirrored pieces. That's kind of cool. And these are separate mirrored pieces. That would be fun on a journal. And then we have some buckles, some more little closures. I need to put all the closures together. I love this big buckle. I think this is what the other metal buckle is from, like a belt, because they have the same star. So this would be it'd be kind of cool to even make like a mini belt to do as a closure for a journal. Isn't that pretty? And this is heavy. This was a good belt. Some more buckles. I might put all of those together back in this little. And then we have a big snowflake and a silver one too. Those would be pretty on a holiday themed journal. And look how cute. They're bottle caps, but they have cork inside them. That would be cute. Just to use like on my, maybe on my cork board. I love that. And then there's another bottle cap. I have been looking at doing possibly some bottle cap jewelry. I'm kind of getting into jewelry making, excuse me, at the moment. Not sure about that. I'd have to play with that. That might be good to do like a resin, like a something inside of it and then a resin on top of it. Then a butterfly mirror piece. And then same thing here. This might be interesting to add something inside of. And then resin on top. This too. And this red piece. That looks like an old, what is it? Keychain. And look at this little owl, how cute he is. I love that. It's like a glass piece, and he's flat on the back. How cute is that? And then we've got another, this looks like, it has an interesting fastener. It's a screw that comes undone. But this looks like maybe a button of some sort. Has the little Jesus fish inside the middle. That's kind of cool. That would be pretty on a journal. Maybe a Bible journal. And then she sent me a seashell. As you can tell, every time I go to the ocean, I get some seashells. I collect them all the time. I'm like about to run out of space for seashells. I need to start doing some seashell projects. Okay, and then she sent me a bunch of these little pieces. These are, I think, usually used for cross stitch, which I need to be doing more with. I do have a cross stitch kit. However, I'm actually, with the size of them, I'm actually looking at this and thinking this could be good for jelly plate texture. Using it on a jelly plate might be interesting. And really, these are really cool too, but they're metal. So I probably couldn't, maybe I could if I made sure I wasn't touching the edges to the plate. But because they're metal, they may snag the plate. I might be able to do something with them with the jelly plate, but these are like little metal mesh pieces. And surely there's something that I can do with the jelly plate because I love the texture of all of these. I'll have to think on how I can do that. And then it looks like she sent some more pictures, another big piece of the cross stitch. And then this looks like punchinella, which I actually have none of. I have no punchinella. And I'm super excited to play with that on my jelly plate because I see a lot of people use that. And this looks like paper punchinella, which I love using in journals and on cards and all that stuff. But the metal punchinella, like for the sequins, super excited about that. I will be using that on my jelly plate for sure. As soon as possible, I am going to film a jelly plate dedicated video for you guys because I have had several people ask me about that. Oh, I love, and I mean love this. This looks like just kind of an embellishment, but look at how gorgeous that is. I cannot. That is so pretty. It almost feels like it should be a bracelet for me. But how pretty would that be as like a bookmark down the center? That might become my new bookmark. And then she's got this, this like snap piece here, which is kind of cool because the inside, this looks like it may have come off a shirt. That is interesting. That might even be an interesting like closure for, I could see this being a closure for, oh, maybe like a gatefold card. But I love, because it's like a satin fabric. I love that. But this right here, whew, I love that. That is so pretty. And then I have a little piece of holly. And some little bows. How cute are those? Those would be really cute on little cards. Definitely. And some more buckles. So, Val, I need to know, where are you finding all these buckles, girl? Because I cannot find any of these. Of course, I won't need to find them very much now that I've got some to play with. But I love those. And then some of these look like fabric tacks. So as you can see, this has little tack feet on it. And I'm thinking this is like a rivet for furniture. Correct me if I'm wrong. If this goes on like something else, then let me know. But there's some in there that have the little feet on them, the smaller ones do. But more of those little buckles. I love these. I'm going to have to put them all together. We have another little, like a little vial. A plastic vial. It has some crushed, it looks like crushed glass and crushed sand, or crushed, maybe like big granules of sand. I'm trying to get it to where it will focus. Interesting. This might be interesting in a resin piece. Maybe in one of those bottle caps. The back of the bottle cap might be pretty to have this laying in the bottle cap and then some resin on top. What do you think? It's kind of, I don't know if you can see the color, but it's kind of a pinkish color of sand. And then just some mirrored glass. That's pretty. And we have a couple more of these. This looks like stamps. Very cool. I'm like obsessed with stamps right now. I love these X's. I'm using a lot of X's in my designs right now. And then just the letters, and here's a stamp, like a page stamp. And this little quote says, "You're allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously." I love that. I'll be using that today. I am obsessed with stamps, and I think everybody that follows me probably is aware of that by now. But we've got some more of these little, she has sent me these before, and I really like these, especially in pockets. These are really cool. She must have a die cut, but I love the colors of the paper here. And then she sent me some little birds. She knows I'm a fan of birds, and I love to use birds in my work. So very pretty. I'm going to set those up here so I can put them all together. And then I have some skewers. Some, just the plain skewers, and then some are, or maybe they're chopsticks. I think they're skewers. And some are colored. I'm not sure what I can do with these. Does anybody have ideas about what I can do? Skewers, I haven't used a lot of skewers, I have to say. Maybe this would be good for, I'm thinking of through the spine of a journal, but think on on how these could be used. Again, I'm kind of new to this process, so maybe there are some projects that you've seen where people have used skewers for journaling. Or maybe this would be good for mark making with ink. That might be kind of interesting too. I might try that, and I might do a video where I do some mark making with some skewers and see what kind of marks I can come up with. But I'm gonna kind of slide these up into the grouping here so I don't lose any of these and they all stay together. And then I saw this when I pulled it out, but these are handles to like little bags. And I love the cording, but I love these little paper handles because when you untwist them, they have a really great texture and add really pretty little textures to tags and things like that. You can stamp them. You just have to untwist them. And they really do have kind of an interesting texture. So that's fun. And then she sent me a few of these corks, which is interesting because I actually had found some projects with corks, and I didn't have really any corks. I had a set and I got rid of them because I wasn't using them and I was trying to clean things out. But now that I have some corks, I might try to start back with that project. So thank you for the corks. I feel like I should have known better than to get rid of them. I love this looks like a bottle stopper. But how fun, or maybe it's a handle without it looks like a bottle stopper to me. But how pretty is this? And I don't know if I can even catch the color. It's like a bright purple. And it kind of goes clear at the top. It's so pretty. This might be an interesting little fixture for, maybe even a trinket box. But, it definitely could go on a journal cover, possibly. But I love it just because I feel like the Little Mermaid sometimes. I just like collecting things. Lots of little things. Okay. And we have a couple of things over here. Let's see. This looks like Tim Holtz. And I know his stuff is kind of pricey, so this was very sweet of you. Oh, stitched. I love stitched scraps. Very cool. So they're like little pieces of ephemera or embellishments that are stitched. And since I am not a sewer, this is definitely going to get used because again, I have yet to teach myself how to sew. So thank you for those, Valarie, because I definitely will use those. And then we have some little, a little fairy. How cute. How pretty is she? She would be pretty on the cover of a, look at that, and her little wings. She would be pretty on a cover of a journal, right? A fairy journal. And then we have some doilies and some lace. Looks like some lace cutouts. The doilies are kind of different colors. It looks like there might be some gold doilies back there, which is new. I don't have any gold doilies. That's fun. And then some tea bags, which is great because I don't normally drink tea very much. So it's cool that I have some little tea bags. The last set of tea bags that I used were clear tea bags. Like they weren't the paper, they were like a silky fabric. So I haven't had a chance to use those much, but thank you for those because I have actually been wanting to do some tea bag projects. I have seen some people make some little tea bag pockets and things, and wanted to do that. So, yay. Okay. And so there was this packet here. I'm collecting all these little beads that I dropped from earlier so I can put them all together. Okay. This was packaged. Oh, wow. Okay. And I like that paper bag too. Okay, and so a lot of this, it looks like there's some cutouts of like different things, animals. and plants. I love like sea themed stuff. Very cool. Look. Jellyfish. Those are cute. Some more sea animals. And looks like a vase. I love the turtle. He's cute. These little seahorses. That's pretty. I actually really love that. That would make an interesting tag or an interesting like background to a journal. And I love this piece of paper because it's like a pastel, and it's kind of a thick paper. It's like a pastel blue flower here. Valarie said that she found some things from the year of my birth, and she sent those. I think those might be in one of the other packets. So here's some like calendar pages. These are kind of cool. Those might be kind of interesting to use. And so this is, a lot of this looks like paper and things pulled from books. I won't go through all of it on screen, but there's some interesting like marks and pictures. Very cool. This looks like going through what a coat of arms might have, like the symbolism. And then we've got some maps, some like plant life books here. This is an interesting book. Whatever you've pulled that from has a lot of different information, like root vegetables and packaging. Very cool. Table tennis. So let me go. Oh, okay. So these have like patterns in them. And this looks like one of those books that I would pick up in a thrift store that has like how to do things, how to make things, like a craft book. Very pretty. Pretty images, pretty colors. Very cool. And flowers and plants. And again, another one of those like pattern, yeah, making decorative fabric covered boxes. Interesting. I love that. I would probably make one of those all the time. I love containers and things to tuck things away in. So this looks like a lot of stuff that she's pulled from a book, and some of the pictures are really, really cool. The Hudson Valley, I actually took a class, an art class on the Hudson Valley School of Art. And so that's kind of interesting that that's in there. So these look like pieces of art and some papers that she's pulled out, some pretty little clip art pieces, things like that that I'll definitely use. And things that I can use for embellishments. How cool. I like the dragon and the unicorn there. And then, oh, how cute. A little calendar. Little images from calendars. So, lots of really cool little things. I think I'll go through more of this off camera. But I love some of the things that you've sent, because these things really, like, I could literally walk through a museum all day and look at this stuff. So just for the sake of time and expediency, I'm going to go ahead and pull, but I don't want to. I just want to go through every single page. This looks like a book from, like an art book from a museum with lots of pieces of art. So those will definitely get utilized, seeing as how I'm an art teacher, and I just can't help but love everything art related. It's my thing. So very cool. And I love these images. This looks like it may have come from a flower book. because some of them go through, but I love the images. They're almost, I want to say they're like almost Art Nouveau in style. Heritage of Flowers. I love that. I may even look for that book online and get another one. That's beautiful. These images are so pretty. Okay, so that was one packet. And let me put these all together. And she has sent me several packets. I think one of these was the one from the year of my birth. And I think most of these are kind of the same thing. They look like they might be the same thing I just went through. Calendars and pieces of books and things. So I'll go through most of that off camera just because I'm sure it's not as fun to look at over the computer. But man, just like a ton. This is why I say the kits that she makes are insane. They're so cool. Those are stickers. The kits that she makes are so detailed. Like there's so many things that I wouldn't even think to pick up. Pirates. I wouldn't even think to pick up because look at that. Art Deco. Because, you know, there's so much out there that you can do. And I think she's very creative in pulling together themes of things. So these kits that we're going to give away are super cool. Hey, look. One of my most favorite artists of all time, Frida. You can see her right here on my lamp. She's incredible. Was incredible. I will go through more of those. That's so fun. I love that you have found that. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned that I love Frida Kahlo. Of course, most female artists and most female art teachers are obsessed with Frida. We've got some wallpaper borders and wallpaper samples. And I love, oh, that's so pretty. It's like a shimmery one. And look at the paper dolls. I have been doing a lot of paper doll stuff, so this is fun. I love this. If you don't follow me on Instagram, find me on Instagram. I'm junk_journalista. And I actually have been posting a lot of the paper doll things that I've been doing. But looks like there's a packet of paper here. Really pretty papers. I love the butterfly paper. And follow me because I post kind of the things that I'm working on. I haven't been good about posting over the past couple weeks because I had COVID and I've been battling COVID, long COVID with like, I was going through dealing with vertigo and then just the fatigue. I love this flower paper. There's just a big stack of that in here. But the long COVID has been absolutely terrible to deal with. It's worse than the actual COVID was for me, thank goodness. But the fatigue has been killing me. So I've not been posting as much. I haven't been posting every day on Instagram like I usually do. I'm hoping to pick up on that more. But we've got a whole packet here of doilies of different sizes, paper doilies. And these are absolutely beautiful. I even love the little ones with the hearts. So cute. And then some, looks like some patterns for making different things, which is fun because you can cut out images or you can actually use them as patterns. If you're a crafty person, you might want to do that. But these are cool. And then again, some more images from books. And I love these old-timey images, especially the one with the castle there. That's fun. Here's part of a statistics book. Fun. But yeah, follow me on Instagram if you haven't looked. If you're not on Instagram, get on Instagram. There's so many Ilford papers. Photographer in me loves this. That's what I used to develop my own pictures and own film when I was in college, Ilford. So that's a throwback for me. And here's darkroom supplies. I love that. That's got to go in like my own personal journal for me. And there's an enlarger, it looks like. So cool. Actually, that looks like that might be an actual camera. Very cool. I love that. You find all kinds of these little old advertisements. It's so cool. But yeah, if you're not on Instagram, I know people, you know, some people are like, I don't want to get on Instagram. It just seems like it's kind of a teenager thing. But there's so many artists that really truly that display and do little videos, short videos on there that you're really missing out if you don't. And I get so much inspiration from Instagram, from following different artists that don't actually don't do anything on YouTube. So definitely get on there and look. But if you do, follow me and you'll see some of the some of the stuff that I make daily. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but you know, it's good to be in the practice of making something every day. And this looks like a stamp set. Wonder what this is for. 10s and 50s saver book. Green stamps. This must have been like almost like a punch card. I'm thinking you had to collect stamps and then maybe, I don't know. This might be showing my age, but I'm not really sure what that is, but it's cool. Can anybody enlighten me on what that is? And then there's lots of little things like tickets and tags, some tags, things like that. Look how pretty that is. A cigar. It's funny because I actually purchased several cigar boxes at the Goodwill and have been using those to store things because I love cigar boxes. But she finds all kinds of, like, that's a matchbook, an old matchbook. And this is an old, wow, an old piece of postage, 4 cents. Way cheaper than it is now, right? Yeah, that's great. And then this looks like the, this will wrap it up. This is the last of the box. I try to get through these pretty quick, but it's just so hard. Yeah, this is the birthday year ephemera. She found a book that went through the year of the birth and all the events that happened. This is 1984, which is my birth year. And I am going to enjoy looking through and seeing some of the things that happened that year around the world. But it literally is just going through world events, things that happened all over the place. Soviets will boycott Los Angeles games. Wow, how timely, right? Lillian Hellman died. Gunman kills 20 in McDonald's crowd. Olympics open like a Hollywood spectacle. It's just interesting to look back and see like our Olympic scores and and all of that that stuff. Wow. The DeLorean, something about a DeLorean. Oh, interesting. Wow. the state of the Gandhi murdered. Indira Gandhi. Seeing some of the stuff that happened back then and how, you know, the world has not changed that much apparently. But interesting, and thank you for sending that. So I was excited to get that. I'm going to read through that a little bit more. But yeah, now I have a bunch to organize. So I'm going to end the video here. If you have any ideas about anything that you have seen that she has sent in this package, feel free to comment below and let me know what you would do with some of this stuff. Creative ideas are always helpful for me because, you know, you get a one-track mind when you see something sometimes, and maybe something that you say will point me in a different direction that I wouldn't have gone otherwise. So those comments are always welcome. And like I said, keep your eye out and your ear out for this information about the giveaway. Whenever I do reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be giving away 3 kits. And those will be kits that Valarie has put together. And as you can see, her kits are are pretty involved. They have a lot of things to them, and thank you again, Valarie, for sending all this really cool stuff. I am super excited to play with some of the things that I have looked at and touched today, and I'm always super excited to get a package from you because it always means there's so much fun coming. I think I will leave it there, but guys, have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.